After the proponents withdrew 2 articles from the warrant, 12 articles were still up for discussion at the special town meeting. Here's Stephanie Michaud with the highlights.
At town meeting on November 2nd, members unanimously passed all of the articles up for discussion. Article 10 appropriated $50,000 for a feasibility study for Fire Station 2. The study will evaluate opportunities for necessary safety apparatus, identify space needs, provide facility assessments, and design options.
Prompted by significant commercial and residential growth in the service area of Station Number 2, the fire chief has determined that the location and staffing of a second full-time ambulance at Station 2 is necessary at this time.
Articles 12 and 13 related directly to the Hillside School project. Article 12 appropriated the $45,000 feasibility study for the project, which will provide funding to supplement the design and engineering services.
The town has very limited sites for schools available, and we had all been struggling with where the right and best place was for rebuilding this school. So everybody stepped back at that time, figured out what would be needed to put a baseline in place and understand whether this was an appropriate place or a feasible place to build a school, to locate the Hillside School. Work continued, and that's led us to this request.
Previously at the November 4th, 2013 special town meeting, $650,000 had been approved for the feasibility design of this project. At that time, the Central Avenue site had not yet been identified as a potential location for the Hillside School, creating additional costs now. The cost associated with studying the new site was allocated by the PPBC, resulting in needed supplemental funds to complete the schematic design stage.
Those services are required because we spent services on a 4th site that was not originally anticipated. So we're essentially just replenishing the budget that's going to carry us through November 2016 because we did some extra work for an additional site that was not planned when we started this 2 years ago.
Article 13 appropriated $7 million to purchase Owens Farm and adjacent properties as well as associated sites.
The Finance Committee was provided with an appraisal for the property. The appraisal was problematic for the Finance Committee. The appraiser based the appraisal on the existence of 3 or 4 buildable 1-acre lots on the farm and 6 buildable 1/4-acre lots. The 6 buildable 1/4-acre lots represent the 6 smaller single-family properties being purchased. The closing date is March 1, 2016, with a deposit of $25,000 due on December 1, and certain contingencies that would allow the town to back out of the purchase.
Some comments from the public involved concerns around the size of the space and the possibility of adding expansions in the future.
There's a lot of wetlands on this property that will presumably become part of the recreational activities of this town. Why isn't that portion of the land being paid for out of the community preservation money?
I fully acknowledge the need for a new Hillside School, but I have serious concerns about the impact on traffic that a school at Owens Farm may have on Central Avenue. And my concerns are not just anecdotal, but they seem to be supported by the traffic study that was conducted.
I am strongly in favor of maintaining a neighborhood school. We have a very special community at Hillside, as you heard earlier about the 5K we had last weekend. It's a great community. I'd love to preserve that for the generations to come. Our kids in the Hillside staff are putting up with a truly inadequate building, and we need to move forward for our children and teachers.
The fact is there's a lot of traffic on Dedham Avenue as well, and on the DeFazio property. There's been increasing traffic everywhere in Needham, and Dedham Avenue traffic has increased in volume and slowed down over the years.
The town will move forward with the purchase of the Central Avenue site fairly soon. For the Needham Channel News, I'm Stephanie Michaud.